Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bullet's Garage, and on today's video, we're not working on the GSF, we're working on my wife's RX hybrid because she's driving on the highway with no car in front of her for 100 yards and a rock or salt kicked up and chipped the damn windshield. So we're gonna attempt to repair it. Alright, so it might be a little hard to hear me, but there's where the damn chip is, right there, kind of in the middle of the windshield. Has a slight divot in it. Thankfully it did not go all the way through, but there is an air pocket because I could see it. Right there, you can see the air pocket. So we're gonna use, sorry, I got the heater going because it is freaking 46 in here. It was 22 when I turned it on. So I got one of these cheap kits for $15, and I watched Chris Fick's video and he used this, so hopefully we could get the same results even though we don't have warm temperatures or sunlight or UV flashlight or anything to cure this, but hopefully we could at least limit the amount of visible crack that we have. So let's get this process started. Let's clean up the windshield and go from there. Alright, so we got the area cleaned up. I'm going to go back in one more time with the alcohol pad. Alright, that should be clean. Now we're going to apply this tab right over the center of this, but I can see pretty well, so we place it there. And I'm gonna kind of squeegee this in here to make sure there's no air bubbles. Okay, we'll remove the backing to this, and we will apply the next piece. Sorry, this light might be a little bright. And we'll apply this piece on top, kind of try to get it aligned in the center. And press down firmly. This is what's going to hold the resin in place. All right, we got our resin. Let me open this up away from the paint, because we do not need this to be spilling. And then we will enter it. I'm going to kind of tap this in so that resin could drip into all the pores. Oh, what the hell? This didn't even stick? Well, that's a freaking fail right off the bat. What the hell, man? Okay, round two. So I heated up the disc with a heat gun to get it more tacky since it is freaking freezing outside. Hopefully we have enough resin. All right. Now what you do is you insert the syringe and you're gonna pull a vacuum so you get all the air bubbles out. Okay, so that is in. And we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes to pull all the air out. All right, guys, here we are inside the car. And you could see the air bubbles that are getting pulled, and the resin is kind of dripping into the cracks and kind of filling it up. So we'll leave this for 10 minutes. I'll turn on the heater to heat up this garage again so it could be nice and warm so this cures properly. All right, so about 12 minutes later, all the air bubbles, you can see there's very little left of them. And it filled that small gap where the air bubble was, which is good. So now what we're gonna do, there you go, look, it's still pulling air. Very nice. We're gonna go to the outside of the car. All right, so about 15 minutes later of pulling vacuum and sucking all the air out, we're gonna remove the syringe, and then what we're gonna do is reverse it and put it in and push air into it so the resin fills all the gaps that there are. So hold this down and slowly pull this out, and you could hear that the air just released. And what we're gonna do is put it in, and now we're going to compress this. Actually, we have to compress it from the first lock. So okay, we're going to compress it right to this tab here, the upper tab. There we go. Make sure that is all in there. And that we're going to leave for 20 minutes and let the air push the resin into the crack. Now let's go inside and see how that looks from the inside. All right, so this is on the inside. Let me see if we can focus here. So that's the little crack that's there, and the resin needs to slowly push into that area. So over time, hopefully that clears, and that's what's going to get rid of the visibility of the chip. So we're going to wait 20 minutes, let this do its job, and we're going to come. All right, guys, this is 20 minutes after. As you can see, the resin is doing a good job filling it. You know, the camera magnifies this a lot, but that is very tiny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this syringe slightly down and tap around the glass, so hopefully you could fill the rest of this little divot, and then we should be able to pull this off. All right, so as I was pushing on the syringe and knocking on the glass for about 5 minutes, I pushed too hard and blew out the bottom, just like Chris Fix said would happen. Don't ask him how he knows. Anyway, but it's been over 20 minutes. I'm gonna remove this and we'll go from there. So let me pull this up, get it on my rag here, and we'll slowly start undoing this. Take your time with this. Just go around. Okay, the disc has come off. Toss that on the ground. Don't need the syringe no more. This adhesive stuck on good, but the side to the plastic piece didn't stick so well since it popped off, as you saw before. Sorry if I'm blocking your view here. Okay, there we go. Let me get rid of the rest of this residue from the adhesive, not from the resin. And now, what we're gonna do is you do not wipe this. You take a drop of your resin, put it right on the dot where the hole is, and then you take the strip from the bottom and you bend it up and you apply pressure to get all the air out, to make sure there's no air. Okay? And now what we're gonna do is let this cure. And it says that it should cure for about 15 minutes in direct sunlight, and then an hour in the shade. But since we're in a garage, so there's no sunlight, there's no shade, I'm gonna use a black light for the ultraviolet rays, and I'm gonna leave it for half an hour just to be on the safe side. And we'll come back and pull this off, and hopefully it looks okay. All right, so we got my black light. I'm actually gonna just put it right across like that. Let's go in the car and see how that looks. Okay, so I gotta slightly move it back so it's in the center. There we go. Sorry, tight angles here, tight angles. Oops, slightly off. All right, that should be good. Let me actually kill all the lights in here so I could see how this black light actually looks and see if it'll be effective enough for what we're trying to accomplish here. Stupid light here. Got lights everywhere. Man, this black light is terrible. Barely emits any light. I got lights all over this place. Well, there you go. You could kind of see it. So hopefully that does the job. And we'll be back to see the finished product in this cold weather. All right, here we go. It's been 50 minutes later. Let's remove this. Turn it off. We can see it's kind of UV. All right, I'm gonna put this on the ground actually, and we're gonna come back and I'll show you how we're gonna peel that piece. All right, you can see there's a bunch of fingerprints from pressing and knocking on the glass, but what I'm gonna do is hold my finger in the middle of the crack and just go. Oh, you could feel that it cured. That's good. And I'm gonna go around from each corner to kind of get it loose. Okay, and then you don't want to go just scrape it because you might pull out the resin. At this point, you kind of just want to twist it. There we go. And this is the excess, which we are going to scrape off. Well, they say to scrape it like this. Yeah, I guess that works. We'll take off the excess resin. Level it with the glass. And no, you're not scratching the glass like this. Okay, perfect. Let me clean this mess up. right. And there you have the finished product. So as you could see, we weren't able to fully, I think I still got some more resin here I gotta get off. But there's no more, it's perfectly smooth, there's no crack. See, there's some resin coming off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, the finished product. It did not come out perfectly crystal clear. As you could see it right there. So there's one piece of where the resin just didn't fully fit into the crack there. It's so hard to focus on this. But basically, the hole is filled, okay? There's no more bump. You run it across with your nail, it's perfectly smooth. So at least it's less visible than before. It is, you know, it has resin in it, so it is safe and it is hardened. So I'm not worried about this spreading and cracking. So I'm pretty impressed. Let me show you the packaging here. What I used. Simple, cheap, Permatex windshield repair. I'll have a link in the description for this if you're interested. You can pick it up on Amazon. But let's hop into the car. Let's go on the other side. Freaking hate winter and snow. Like, look at this car. Look at this car, somebody, please. Please, like, this is why I don't drive my car in the rain or the snow. But if we hop in here and if we're just sitting, you can't really, I mean, honestly, I can't see the crack at all. Let me come in closer. So I'm pointing to it right there. Let me see if I can focus in on it. There it is right there. So some angles you could kind of see it. But I mean, if you're not looking at it, before I got, you know, I was there, it was visible right when you got in the car. Now it's barely visible. So I think that's a job well done for a 15-minute or $15 quick project that took about, altogether with the time waiting for the curing, 20 minutes or 2 hours to do. 20-degree weather in a cold garage. Ultimately, if I did this in the summertime, I could take my time, cure it better in the sun, and if, you know, the resin would be warmer, it wouldn't be so cold. It'll probably fill that hole pretty well. So I'm very impressed. Whew, and I'm out of breath because it's cold. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. I want to shout out to Chris Fix because I watched his video how to do this, and of course he's a pro. He shows you exactly step by step, but I learned from his video, implemented into this, and just wanted to show you guys a quick fix. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one.